5:30.
5, I believe. So I figure she's probably gonna be hungry when she gets home at 5:30 or so, depending on traffic.
Makes sense. Sure, till 5:30.
Pretty sure till 5, but I could have been a bad listener. I know. She thinks she's missing out. What are you guys doing over there? She's making some dinner. Oh, that's funny. Alright, the middle's still a little frozen. Hello, welcome back to Coral Roots. As you can see, I have started dinner. It's a what's for dinner kind of a video. I am basically doing I guess I'd call it a hamburger mac and cheese. I make it different every time. I feel like sometimes I look up recipes and get kind of inspired to do stuff. Other times I just wing it. This is a wing it. So I am doing some onions and some ground hamburger meat. The middle of it was still frozen, so it will kind of need to cook down in the center there. I'm going to add some salt and pepper, and once it's cooked through, then we will proceed with more ingredients. Alright, I started the hyperlapse and then I realized I actually wanted to add another ingredient. So we're going to throw in some garlic while it's cooking down. Basically I'm using the fat from the cooking hamburger meat to also soften up the onion and the garlic once I get it in there. Gotta rip some of this paper off. I want it to be like a nice hamburger macaroni and cheese, but also not plain. I like there to be some flavor to it. Now, I would normally also be adding in my homemade chicken stock, but I used it all for a homemade soup that I made yesterday, which now it turned out so bomb.com that I wish I would have recorded that one. So I'll have to recreate that one in the future because it was delicious. Like, so good. If I do say so myself. And I do. Oh crap, I gotta give this thing a stir. Let's give it a stir. With our garlic. Oh, you know what I also need to do? I need to go put an apron on. We're back. You're only seeing from, I guess, my hands down since that's where I've got you propped up here. This is one of those really just make it how you can make it kind of meals. In the olden days, before I trusted myself and became a pretty decent cook, if I, again, do say so myself, which I will, I would have made this as a hamburger macaroni, like the boxed stuff, but it's so not hard and same amount of time, basically. You still have to ground the beef with the hamburger, the boxed kind. And you, in theory, you would still add an onion. I probably wouldn't have back in the day, mainly because my kids would have cried, the boy in particular. So you don't have to add that. You could just add onion powder or nothing at all and make it kind of real basic. And anyway, point being, you can make it a much healthier version, and it's actually going to cost less because you're not buying the box mix. And you can have better ingredients, and it's the same amount of time. Basically, about the same amount of time. I mean, make a little bit more work because, you know, again, I've chopped up some stuff, but you don't have to, as I just said. Alright, let's let that brown. Alright, so it's almost entirely browned. I'm going to try a different thing today. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Basically, we wanted to cook this. It doesn't have to be 100% done because it's still going to continue to cook. Now, I would oftentimes pull this meat out, create a roux, create the cheese, add the cheese back in. Let's try something here. I thought of it. So I don't have beef broth made or even homemade chicken broth, like I said. So I'm just going to use the Members Mark, whatever. I don't even think I have good organic stuff right now. So, kind of is what it is. I guess we're making do with what we have. That didn't seem like it just opened. That's weird. Hold on a minute. Pause button. Didn't like make the, like you just opened it. It's almost like it was put away. I don't like that. I don't like that. Alright, hold on. We're going to use this other one. That's weird. I don't know. Yeah, easy to open. Twist to break inner seal. I don't know. That was really weird. It's like I opened it and it had already been opened. I mean, this one I guess is looking the same. But I don't know. Something about that felt weird. You know, you can just tell. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and add my liquid. I probably should have measured this. I think I'm going to do like, let's call it half of this. And I guess I feel better because it's the organic one. And the other thing is our neighbors, actually the kids who are adults my age, were over, doesn't matter. They brought us their leftover groceries. And again, not, you know, my normal favorite type of milk, but I also don't really like things to go to waste. So we're going to add in the milk. That's going to help with the creaminess. Let's give it a stir, shall we? Anyway, what I'm going to try to do is basically have the noodles boil in the pan, simmer it all together. I grabbed the wrong thing. That's funny. I think what I want is over here. Sorry. Yeah, here. What I'm going to do is add a little Worcestershire since I only have chicken stock. Just give it a little where the beef would be. I'm going to add a little bit more liquid here. I think I need more because once I add the pasta, I'll tell you how much I added in a sec. So this is 1 quart. I'll weigh it. We'll see. We'll see, we'll see. Anyway, we're just eyeing it anyway. This is how we cook, right? So that's gonna come to a boil, basically. Did you see me make the biggest mess over here when I was grating that cheese on the fast motion? I mean, seriously? It's ridiculous. You know what I might still do is add a little flour, because that acts, flour or cornstarch act as a thickener. And since we are planning to just do it all in the pan, now the milk that I added was a 1%, I think, so that could prove to be stupid. Like, it might not cream it up as much as we want, or it might be fine. Now, my flour did just glop in here, so I'm trying to break up flour chunks. Won't this be a really funny video if it's just like gross? Probably. Okay, let's turn this down. I feel like I need to bring her to more like a simmer status. Now the question is, do we add our noodles first or our cheese first? That's the Parmesan Reggiano that I'm adding in. Let's try a couple of these and see what they do. It's an experiment, right? May or may not work, people. May or may not work. Alright, we're gonna try adding in some of the noodles. Now, what I'm trying to decide here is if I should keep it at a boiling, like you would do normally with noodles, or if I should keep it at a simmer because I want it to absorb liquid. I think we're gonna go simmer and just stir it up. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do that. Let's go back down to where we were at a low medium, because we're not dumping out the water. I think we're gonna have it be slow simmer. And I might need a little more of the pasta. I think the pasta's gonna get real fat though, because you know, it's just gonna be sitting in here. And I just picked a shape that was like the smallest, whatever. What is this stuff? Garofalo. Garofalo! It looks like... Can you see the shape? No, you can't. This is the shape. Alright, well, let's do that. We're gonna let it simmer while it absorbs, and I feel like I already kind of want the cheese in there, so let's add that back. Let's add that in, even though we just said we weren't sure. Now we're not sure, but we're gonna just try it. I mean, even if we don't nail the same like consistency as making the roux ahead of time, I feel like it'll still have a good flavor. And I kind of am okay with that. No. And it's white, but this is actually cheddar. It's just a white cheddar. Let's simmer. had a change of plans. Not change of plans on the food. I had a change of plans on what I was going to keep recording. I was gonna leave it on time lapse, but then I was like, I mean, yeah, you'll get to see the liquid absorb, but it kind of almost seemed a little boring. I don't know. So what I'm doing now, you can't actually see, is refilling some of our containers over here and doing another cleanup. Now I just cut my head off. So what's better? Oh, and the sun's setting in the back. Wow. Refilling the little container that we use for Claire's raspberry tea for her. We're still fighting those little ant/spider critters. We have put out the big guns as far as sprayed. Eddie looked up what they are, and apparently it's a seasonal thing, although we've never had them before, so it's kind of weird, but these were a Goodwill find, by the way. I feel like we need to go stir that, so let's go stir it. Come with me and stir it real quick. Maybe I should just keep the camera farther away and then I don't have to keep moving it, huh? Oh yeah, that's turn it down ever so slightly. That's thickening. I mean, partly it is the noodles getting fatter like I thought they would, but it is, I don't have a cover big enough for this pan. Probably should be covered. I set a timer for 20 minutes to see if it would take that long, and I'm just coming to 15 here. So this has been 5 minutes of simmering, which again, if you were making the box Hamburger Helper stuff, you have to simmer it for 20 minutes. So there you go. Alright, is it easier if I go, look at how messy it looks. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I feel like that's better, right? You can actually see, and I don't know that you'll be able to hear me. Oh! I'm not wearing it because I anticipated I was going to do more of the time-lapse-y thing, but I found my microphone. Want to know where it was? Not put away. It was just randomly sitting on my plant stand. That's where it should be, right? That makes sense. Sometimes I swear, like, you can't really get mad at other people if you do it to yourself, right? So filling up our pinch bowl, our vital proteins container. They heard me when I put it on. So on my Instagram, I put that's annoying. So they don't give you a plastic scooper anymore. But they also had it in a plastic container. And I was like, oh, we're really saving the environment with this no scooper in here. And then the whole container was plastic. But now the whole container is paper, which it's probably lined with some sort of poisonous thing, like a straw. Paper straws, which are insanity. Like, hello, let's drink fluids out of paper. Alright, so that's full. I'm going to actually clean this counter over here. That's full. And these containers I should have probably washed as well. Alright, we're on the last of our Folgers. we got ourselves quite the sunburst ray coming across. Should we move me a little? I think it's literally just gonna be, it's sunny right now. I mean, it literally is. The sun is setting on the east side of the house, and that's what we got. All right, I'm gonna refill some of our beef organs, as long as I also have my stool over there to get up in the cabinet. This goes in the other room. This was washed, but not very well. Let's put this over here for the other room. Okay, I do need to run a sink. My goodness. Like blinded. Breakfast/lunch. Carol. Okay, I turned, now we've got 9 minutes left, and I turned it from like the 3-4 on my induction down to a simmer. I realize I'm stirring it and you're not looking at it. It's okay, you'll live. You know what this is reminding me of? Beef stroganoff. Much more so than it actually is reminding me of macaroni and cheese. So I guess that's it. That's fine. We'll see. We'll see. I think also it's the color, because I am using a white cheddar and not a yellow cheddar, so it just has the more stroganoff appearance. I'm not saying it has a stroganoff taste, but it's just looking stroganoff-y. Per usual, I have to do 7 other things in order to do the one thing that I was planning to do. I need to sink of sudsy water to do this sculpture over here. And I am also well aware that I am wiping counters down before dishes, and that would be not correct. I'm aware. I have to. I really need to come in and do a sealing of my soapstone. Really thirsty. Probably should have rinsed that on the stone. That's okay. Alright, we have these disgusting vinegar containers back here. Look like I've got like bugs. Which I guess I could look. So crazy on this counter. Good lord. I'm gonna put a cover on that too. We are at 2 minutes till my timer goes off, and I feel like we are getting good consistency. Can you see that? It's not like lasagna cheesy, but it is definitely thickened up. The starch from the noodles, I think, also made it very cheesy. And if I take a bite, let's get a little noodle and a little of the meat and see. Claire's not home yet, so I'm not going to eat yet, but. Yeah, I think because I added that Worcestershire sauce, to me, it's reminding me a little bit more of, what did I say already? Beef stroganoff, but like in a good way. It's not a bad thing. I think had I just left it with the chicken broth, it would have had more of the macaroni and cheese-ness to it than having the Worcestershire added to it. So, and again, it's not going to have like an Alfredo. I didn't make an Alfredo sauce. I made more of a. I didn't do the roux ahead of time. But this was easy because a roux can be a big pain in the butt if you're like really busy and you're trying to run to wherever it is you got to go, right? So I think I'm going to call that a win. I switched the washcloth. I don't know if it was the stuff we sprayed that kept making suds, so I cleaned it, rinsed it, and then now for my dishes I'm going to use a clean dish rag. Not that you needed to know that, but see, there we're at 20 minutes, 20 minutes! But I didn't want to feel judged, so let me keep cleaning up. By the time I get this all cleaned up, Claire should be home, and then she won't have to do dishes after working 9 to 5. She worked 9 to 5 today. Honey. Okay, she's home. So I'm just trying to get done with the water. Good. Oh. That might have been a little excessive, but.
Did you already grab forks or no?
I did not grab forks yet, no. Alright. It's a fresh cracked pepper. I don't.
Is there going to be enough for me to bring some to work tomorrow?
Let's go sit down with it and then this will be it, and then we will say if it was good or not, and then be done with our recording.
What? You don't want to do a hyper?
A hyperlapse was just
Eating?
Put my apron on. Alright, literally I just want to take a bite and then we'll stop. Hit stop. No, there should be enough, I mean, depending on how much you...
Well, I'm not. I feel like I took way more than I'm going to eat. Well, I guess we'll see. Maybe I want to be a big bag today.
Hot. I cooked the noodles in the sauce, like I didn't do it separate water. So
It has an extra flavor.
yeah, I was telling the little friends on the YouTubes that I probably didn't need to add the Worcestershire. That's what's giving it the stroganoff vibe. Because I made it with chicken stock and milk, and then added cheddar and Parmesan all in it.
Mm-hmm. I got.
Whoa.
10 out of 10.
Thanks for watching.